There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
Horror Movie Podcast.
Welcome to Blood, Gore, and Ghouls Horror Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Ian Van Gool. 2024 is here. New year, new us, new intro, new outro, new merch, and some amazing things planned for this year. Send us an email at bggpodcast@gmail.com. Check out the brand new merch at goalsquadshop.com. And last but not least, for all of our audio listeners out there, be sure to hit the follow button, give us a 5-star rating, and even a little review if you're so inclined. So today is another day of firsts. I have not one, but two guests this week. So he's the lead researcher and the main host of the Project Skeptic Podcast. Let's welcome Jay back to the show.
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children.
But I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real.
Dude, that's so good. I love it.
That's a good one.
I love it.
up?
What up? What up? What up?
What up, what up?
Don't inflate my head as much next time, because now I'm gonna have to like bring facts. You're like head researcher, founder of the institution for, he just went on, and
Yeah.
I'm like, just be like, it's a guy.
Not
It's
wrong.
just-
It's a
just this guy.
It's a guy. Then hit the button. That's all you got to do. But-
Welcome this guy to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on again. I
Yeah.
love talking all the strange and unusual. I don't per se say myself as an expert, but I know some things and some stuff.
You know some things
Stuff and
because he's
things.
seen some things.
Yeah, I'm like Nationwide
Yeah.
or Farm, whatever one it is. Pick one.
He's
What-
on your side.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
My other guest tonight is Jay's right-hand man, although he's on the left side. So, Nonetheless, he is the co-host of the Project Skeptic Podcast. He's a legend who requires no research. Let's also welcome back to the show, the Bumbeeno.
Who is that?
Yeah, right.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for having me. Yes.
What's up, brother?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. I love it.
Yeah.
I got two great
Bumpers.
bumpers.
Yeah.
Those are awesome. I love them both.
Yeah, they work.
Yeah,
they fit you
Yeah,
perfectly.
I know.
If you're thinking like Bumbeeno, like how do we personify the Bumbeeno in sound?
You guys
This
did
is how
it.
we do it. This is
You
how we
guys
do it.
did it.
That's how we do it.
You both did it. How did you get the inspiration on that?
Man. Well, I mean, we've all been hanging out all weekend pretty
Too
much.
many hours with you.
And with last night when I think it was last night, I invited you guys on, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't have a bumper for Bumbeeno." So I
Yeah.
spent hours last night,
Jeez.
and there's nothing that really online that says Bumbeeno.
Yeah,
Nothing.
So
Nothing.
you had to do the vocals
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
And I was like, what can I do? So I just found different clips of like bum, B, or bean, and
Like
then
when
O.
And they fill the things in.
And then I put that riff on there, and and then of course the kind of ongoing thing for Project Skeptic is he's a co-host, but he always thanks you for
Thanks
for having me.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I found that clip, and I was like, yep. And then I had initially I had the Little John in there, and then today it's kind of a light bulb went off, and I was like, oh, drinking out of cups.
Drinking out of cups.
So I had to pull
right.
that up on YouTube, clip it, and then threw that in.
I'm surprised you
And that
didn't
was
put the
good.
door stuck. Can't make it.
Door stuck.
Can't make it.
That's you.
Hey,
That's you.
That's me.
That's your personality.
Oh,
You
yeah.
nailed it, Ian.
Yeah,
You nailed
yeah,
it.
you nailed it.
I think it's wonderful. Thank you for having made that.
You almost
That's
said
great.
it.
Nah, well,
Thanks
I-
for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me. I don't know what you want to jump into real quick or right away, but whenever this episode comes out, our episode of the week will be out too, and we like to do our conspiracy of the week on our show. And this week happened to be the Miami alien incident that's
Right.
going on. Have you seen the footage that keeps popping up now
I
of
saw
like the cop cars surrounding like this iridescent like being
I did
like
see that,
downtown? I was like, that's That's fucking wild, dude. Like,
Right.
if that's not like photoshopped in any way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's like true like helicopter footage,
Right.
that's like mind blowing.
Yeah, it is hard. It's hard to say, like with videos now.
Yeah.
With all the
I
shit
don't-
that you can
that's-
do.
You can't believe anything.
But it was funny. I was scrolling through Twitter earlier, and someone had put that actual clip up. And you know how they like kind of fact check shit on Twitter now?
Yeah.
So there was a thing, and it was like, this isn't true. The cops were called for kids with fireworks. And I'm like,
yeah.
even still, if that was what they were called for, they brought the entire fucking force out.
Yeah.
Like nobody, especially in Miami, where there's like the police stay very busy.
Oh, yeah.
They're not
I'm
going to
sure
bring
they
the
are.
entire force out because there's kids at a mall with fireworks.
Yeah.
Like, there's some things that don't add up.
Yeah,
I think
man.
they called them firecrackers,
Oh yeah, firecrackers. Yeah.
Okay.
which is, I think, a little less dangerous than fireworks.
I guess in the hierarchy of
Where do you put
fire
works versus crackers?
yeah, if we're talking scribs, yeah.
Yeah,
We're talking mortars.
Yeah,
like
right.
they're in the mall shooting
Yeah.
mortars. Yeah, that shit would be fucking insane. Like,
Right.
it's-
So
Calling
yeah,
everybody.
it's hard to say, but yeah,
Yeah.
that shit's wild though. Regardless,
I was
Like,
just trying to like because we had just spoken about it.
Yeah.
And like more stuff's coming out, so I just wanted to
oh yeah,
give my my weird side.
I'm gonna have to watch any of those. I haven't seen any of them, so I'm gonna put in some time.
He was sitting on Instagram Reels last night.
My daughter's teaching me how to do
He's
this.
like scrolling through Reels, and it was just like people getting fucked up. Like it's just like people getting hit by cars.
about horror,
and like,
okay, and
it's
gore.
like- yeah.
My God.
I was like, what is your algorithm? Like,
I don't
this
even
is insane.
know.
Like, it's insane.
fucking terrible.
It was, and chickens.
And there was a lot of
There were a lot of
chickens.
chickens.
Blood, gore, and chickens.
That's what it
Blood,
was.
gore, yeah.
That was my Instagram
Wow.
reel.
That's his Instagram handle. If you want to go check out the Bumbeeno.
Chickens.
Blood, gore, and chickens. So what do you got for us?
Well, tonight we're just going to talk about some urban legends
Love it.
and horror movies inspired by them. There's a article put up by Bloody Disgusting. It was 10 scariest urban legends and the horror movies that have brought them to life.
I
So
was hoping it wasn't like 65 brutal murders
I know.
of
Yeah.
urban legends.
Well, that's
like,
one of my New Year's resolutions for the podcast is to not get lists that are more than 10.
yeah,
There it
that's,
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine, man. I don't care. We had a blast on that.
Oh yeah,
episode,
it's always
though.
a blast, but for the listener's sake, I feel like it goes on a little long
Yeah.
sometimes.
I'm like, how many people can get stuffed into garbage bags? Like, let's go. You know, like looking at their watch. Like,
Today we count down the top 100.
top 100. Casey Kasem here with the top 100.
So yeah, we got those. We got the 10 horror movie urban legend things going on there, and then I figured we'll just look into some urban legends in general. We have some local urban legends.
Yeah, we do. We do.
So yeah, we'll just kind of get the horror movies, go through those quick, and then see what we get into from there.
Yeah, this is a 5-hour topic.
Right,
Like there's
yeah.
there's no end to this topic. Yeah, but cool.
But it's fun.
It's
a
fun.
fun topic. And if you're out there driving around listening, I think it's just chill.
It's not fun for the guy or the girl that's driving home and there's a psycho murderer in their back seat.
Well, I have that. Don't. I
Cart,
have one of those.
Cart, horse,
Whoa,
Hamlet.
I only
Who's
have
Hamlet?
I have 5.
Never
yeah,
heard of 'em.
Don't.
Sorry.
Spoilers.
Spoiler. Spoiler. I need a
redacted,
spoiler
sorry.
alert button. But yeah, so an urban legend is defined as a humorous or horrific story or piece of information circulated as though true, especially one purporting to involve someone vaguely related or known to the teller. So there's that.
Yeah, so what we're saying is like an urban legend carries throughout not generations, years. Like I don't know if maybe you want to say generations, but it is a fable that is told about something maybe horrific or something dark, or you know what I mean.
Right.
That's where
It said funny. It said humorous.
Could be, yeah.
it said hubris.
Hubris?
No,
You know I can't see that tiny lettering. Okay. God,
I know.
what did it say? Honestly,
Humorous.
It said
Humor.
humorous.
Yeah. Like haha. Funny
son
funny
of a-
haha.
Funny.
Funny how?
You just wait till an urban legend happens to you.
I'm telling you,
Ooh.
I was a part of an urban legend. That's where I
Told
grew
you,
up.
you've seen some shit.
Seen some shit.
All right.
All right, so this bloody disgusting article, 10 scariest urban legends, horror movies that brought them to life. So of course the probably one of the most popular ones is The Killer in the Backseat.
Dude,
See, you just said that.
I need a bell.
Ding.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the...
Sorry, I just saw the next one.
Wow. Damn, yeah. Well, you didn't say it on air, though. But
Stop it. You
scared.
heard me. I said it.
know.
I said it.
You said it.
Sorry, go
He
ahead.
said it.
Backseat.
All right, so Killer in the Backseat. So the classic urban legend features a driver, usually female, alone in a car at night. As she glides along the darkened streets, another car follows close behind, repeatedly flashing their high beams. Arriving at home, she bolts out of the car only for the following driver to alert her to the stranger hiding with a knife in her back seat. Other variations involve a helpful gas station attendant who notices the killer, then lures the confused driver into the office with claims of a credit card problem. Nearly all versions of the story end with the killer apprehended and a clear message to always check the back seat before climbing behind the wheel. So this unnerving story was adapted into the opening sequence of the 1998 film Urban Legend. Features horror icon Brad Dourif, Chucky, as the misunderstood gas jockey. More frightened of his warning, Michelle, played by Natasha Gregson Wagner, runs to her car and drives away thinking she has avoided danger. But lightning flashes through the windows as a killer with gleaming axe slowly rises from the back seat. Jamie Blank's film features several iconic stories, including the boyfriend's death and the microwaved pet, as he follows a killer using classic urban legends to exact a grisly revenge.
How do they know it's a psycho killer in the back seat? Couldn't it have just been
Their favorite pet.
or no, like a dude, like they're
Just a dude.
They're just
Sleeping.
yeah,
Like, oh, this
like he
isn't
got
my
into the
car.
wrong car and then he like wakes up. He's like, oh man, looks like he has a knife. He's actually combing his hair, but it looks like a knife in his
It's where
hand.
those switchblade comes.
That's exactly what it is. But how do they know? Like the urban legend thing blows my mind because they're like, there's a psycho killer in your back seat. Like, how do you know it's just not the local drunk that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's got to add to that fear and terror.
How,
Wait, so in movies,
Mhm.
right? In movies, could it be that the urban legend was before the movie? So what I'm asking here in the
Yeah.
killer in the back seat,
Yeah.
was that an urban legend prior to any movie ever coming out?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Really?
so
that
this-
fear? That
It goes back.
How did,
Yeah.
That must have happened.
I talk about this on a show every once in a while when I do like my local PA Legends thing too. It feels like more of a guidance to kids and teenagers about safety, right? Always check your back seat before you, like in the 50s and 60s. Maybe there was a serial killer that was going around, so that legend just blooms into something else, right?
Right.
So it's to teach lessons of, and the best way to teach people apparently is through fear. So they're like, make sure there's not a serial killer, and then the urban legend builds upon itself with stories of maybe this happening a handful of times, where in our cultural zeitgeist, that is one of, like I said, it's the first one on the list. So it's huge. People are like, killer in the backseat. They even make movie renditions about the urban legend. So I think they grow in themselves. But is it inherently a dangerous situation? Is it happening daily? No, but it's grown to be something like that.
Right.
So
Just a quick check. You know, just got to just all right, nothing.
yeah,
A quick check. Now, what's funny about
Uh-huh.
it is humorous.
Okay.
Is it in the movies?
Yeah.
They always have the girl running, and then she like, oh, I lost him, right? But it was probably 30 seconds, and they were like, just right behind her,
Yeah.
and she gets in the car, and like, they just appear there.
Yeah.
It's
What-
it's
you-
the whole Hollywood.
You got to understand the psycho killers in their unhuman strength and speed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, and Chucky dolls,
And Chucky dolls.
Check for them in the
Chucky
backseat.
dolls. You got to check for them.
Yeah.
You do.
Man, holy cow! Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
this-
a good urban legend.
It is. But yeah, the 98 film Urban Legend, it takes quite a few different pretty popular ones and kind of makes a movie out of it. But yeah, this one's really interesting because it's still like a thing today. Like
Yeah,
there's like it's not even just in like the legend, like quote unquote legend. Like if you look on Facebook, there's always those posts of like, this just happened to me. I was at a store,
Walmart,
and I was at a
Mhm.
store, and this guy was following me around, and I just saw one the other day. It was like literally this. Someone tried to open the back of my car. Is it true? Maybe.
Yeah.
Is it more like someone put it up there and then thousands of people shared it because they all think it's true?
I have a story from a friend that did the kind of same thing, and we found out what happened. Like they were at a store, a big chain store,
Right.
And the guy wasn't sitting there like stalking. The guy was sitting there looking at her, pleasuring himself.
Oh, okay.
So you didn't want him in the back seat
No.
in any way, shape, or
No,
form.
no.
But it's the same story. It's the same kind of thing, though. It's like,
Yeah.
there's like creepy dude. There's creepy dudes everywhere.
There is creepy dudes, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you
People.
can't.
So, yeah, I mean,
People.
did this ever actually happen? Possibly.
Yeah, and
I
that's
think
where it stems,
Right.
You know,
But I think just overall, it's kind of like a warning. Like
Cautionary
if
tale.
you're
Cautionary tale.
if you're a female out there by yourself,
stay
lots
strapped.
Lots of creepy dudes. Yeah, stay strapped and
Stay
always
strapped.
check your back seat because you can check it and there'd be no one there 99 times. You don't check it once, maybe
Dead.
there's someone there.
Done.
Dead.
So you know,
All of a sudden, lightning, and then
the
shiny
thunder.
hatchet.
And the thunder.
And the lightning strikes.
So another really popular and interesting one is Slender Man. So this creepy story is the rare bit of folklore with the definitive origin.
Sheesh.
The tall, faceless monster with tentacle-like arms is a photo creation by Eric Knudsen, originally posted to the Something Awful internet forum in 2009. A thin man in a sinister suit haunts several photos of happy children with accompanying text that hints at disappearance and death. As others add to the lore, Slenderman has seemingly taken on a life of his own, transcending these doctored images into all forms of internet media. The 2018 film Slenderman brings this legend to life with a group of friends who attempt to summon the dangerous entity, only to become his next targets. However, an even more terrifying version of the story can be found in Beware the Slender Man, Irene Taylor Brodsky's 2016 documentary following two teenage girls who tried to murder their classmate while claiming to be under the control of the mythical creature. So yeah, this one's wild.
This one's new. It's new.
Right.
It's 09.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and it's a subreddit forum,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yep. And then it showed up on Creepypasta and from there.
Yeah.
It was just literally a dude made it up and then
It went crazy.
Yeah, it went crazy viral and then it literally led to two actual
Murder.
teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Trying
remember the
to-
story about the teenagers, killing the other girl or whatever.
Right.
You should have pulled the phone call because the phone call, the Slender Man phone call, it's actually in one of our intros, and it's like, there's a man that followed us home. from the school." Yeah, there's a whole phone call, and he's like standing outside their door, and yeah, it's a creepy phone call, and then he's like, he's on the phone.
Can I see his face?
He doesn't have a face.
He doesn't have a
Okay,
face.
it says faceless man. Okay.
He's the faceless man. Yeah,
slender. Yeah.
It's new. It's within the last 15 years.
Right.
I mean, it's not one that dates back to the 60s, 50s. Something like Cautionary Tale or anything like that. It's interesting, but we kind of know where it originates from. It's not like sightings of Slender Man,
Right.
and then there's like this whole like offspring of what went on with him.
Right.
It, like I said, it's cool, and the people that do the fan like stories and stuff like that for it are amazing. Like the creepypasta stuff that they do for it. They're even the people that make the videos. They're like, we're out here looking for Slender Man. I can't really get behind this one because I know where it came from and I know where it originates, and we kind of know that it's not like real.
Right.
But to kids, this shit is horrific.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because it was created on social media and it grew to some fame level. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it became a thing, which maybe if it didn't have that, would these stabbings have happened?
The actual like events that happened. Maybe these girls were going to kill this girl regardless. In the actual like real story,
Right.
and that was their framing around being able to do that.
Mm.
They were only teenagers. I think they were only like 14 or 15 or something like that. It's wild to be a true story.
Yeah. It is wild.
Yeah. But
As
it's
well.
just really, it's super interesting that we kind of get to see an urban legend come to life, like in real time.
Yeah, it's a cool one. It's spawned a lot of really good content. You know.
Oh yeah.
I have to admit, I have not seen the movie Slender Man. I'm sure you have. Or you've
I think
read
I
about
have, but it's
Okay.
been a while.
Man, when did that come? You said 2009?
No,
That's when it-
18. 2009 is when he was created.
The
Yeah.
folklore was
Yeah.
created. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a subreddit or it was something 4chan, maybe something of that sort.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah,
It was
It just says a forum.
something awful
Yeah,
internet forum.
yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
was
say that's probably subreddit.
yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
imagine.
But yeah, definitely interesting. But yeah, anyone out there, Slender Man's not real. So
If you see
yeah.
Slender Man, please BGG
podcast
podcast.
at Gmail. Yeah.
Yeah, Gmail. Send
Get a
us
picture of his face.
pics.
Have
Yeah.
you or a loved one been affected by Slender Man? If so, send us an email. bggpodcast@gmail.com.
If you know him, get him. Hook us up.
I'd love to have him on the show.
I'd love to
Yeah.
have him on the show.
Suck in your belly. I'll take a picture of you. I'm like, I found him.
So another
Humorous.
another very popular
So
one
humorous.
is Mary Worth, also known as Bloody Mary. So the urban legend is a popular one to practice at middle school sleepovers. The specifics may vary, but the ritual usually involves chanting some iteration of I believe in Mary Worth while staring into a mirror in a candlelit room. The ritual is said to invoke the spirit of a aforementioned woman who will appear in the darkened mirror behind the participants. One variation claims to reveal a young girl's future husband or the Grim Reaper, should she be destined to die before her wedding day. Other modifications conjure a vengeful spirit who will attack the chanters with her long, sharp claws. This particular ritual is a popular one in the horror genre, but few adaptations terrify quite like Paranormal Activity 3. Set in the 80s, Katie convinces her babysitter Randy to join her in chanting Bloody Mary while staring into her bathroom mirror. Prepared to capture evidence of spectral activity in the home, Randy films the encounter and records something truly terrifying. While they do not see any images of Katie's future husband, their chants seem to invoke a demon who crashes through the house as soon as they turn off the bathroom lights. So, yeah, of course, Bloody Mary.
And I think these ones fall into the
The back seat thing.
the party, the girl teenage party urban legends, right?
Right.
The light as a feather, stiff as a board one I can think of, the Ouija board one, those ones and the Bloody Mary one, they all kind of fall into that. It seems like a dare type of thing,
Right, yep.
Like, I dare you to go in there and shut the lights out and say Bloody Mary, and then you have some asshole friend that like screams and like convulses on the ground, and
Yeah,
then you
right.
open the door and she's like, gotcha.
Yep.
These seem like those kind of urban legends, just kind of in a ball of like teenage girls again, and but these don't have any type of like violence to them. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
the backseat one has like actual like real world, where these ones are more spectral
Right.
in nature.
Yeah, for sure. As far as movies go, I mean, obviously Candyman is kind of the male version of that.
What?
I was just going to say
You were
that.
going to say that.
I was going to
I'm
say
sorry.
that.
I, didn't
I was
mean-
going to say Beetlejuice.
That too. But
Yeah.
I guess you're not doing that in the mirror.
No.
I think you have to do the Candyman in the mirror.
in the mirror, yeah. 5 times.
5 times.
Let's
Just
try
do
it.
5 times.
Let's try.
Let's try it.
All right,
Right
you're back.
after
Let's
this, let's go.
I have tried it.
All of us.
Yeah, I've tried it.
I have.
Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm
I didn't
just-
know if
After that, no.
no, okay. I can't say Beetlejuice without saying nice fucking model.
Honk, honk.
I love that. It's a favorite line.
So good.
So the next one's La Lorna. The Latin.
La Llorona.
Oh, whatever.
I'm not. I am.
It is
I am
La
not.
Llorona.
I am not anybody to be.
Lorna.
Not anybody to be.
I look at it too fast.
Anybody with any type of English or Spanish or of any sort. But that's what it is.
It's fine. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I always look at it too fast, so I just say La Llorona. La Llorona.
La Llorona.
Llorona. It's a Latin American ghost. The Latin American ghost is frequently spotted wandering near bodies of water, weeping for her lost children. Dressed in white, the malevolent spirit sometimes serves as a harbinger of misfortune and death, while others claim she searches for mischievous children to lure away from their parents. Another variation tells of a woman abandoned by her husband who drowned her own children in a grisly act of revenge. Let's see. Jairo Bustamante. There we go.
Good.
Bustamante?
Bustamante. That's probably not how you pronounce it at all, but that's what we're going with.
It just seems like a fake name.
Yeah. He brings the heartbreaking legend to life with a modern fable about the horrors of war. Aging dictator Enrique Monteverde is facing trial for brutal war crimes while protests rage outside his massive estate. Haunted by his own sinful past, he begins to hear weeping in the night and fears that a mysterious housekeeper may have been sent to deliver justice outside the legal system. A fascinating remix of a classic legend, this Guatemalan film repurposes the story of the crying woman to tell a poignant story about the spiraling nature of atrocity.
This one is interesting. That little like 2 paragraphs does like nothing for this entire urban legend. Like there's so much with this. Like if you can think of like banshees, right? Okay. That's kind of the form that she takes. Or not so much like incubus or succubus type of thing. It doesn't feel like that type of spectral. Okay. But she's like like weeping, and like people would approach her, and then she'd either like attack them or the children, take children, you know. And there's so much legend like out of the southwest of our country and into Mexico and down into Central America. Like this is a big thing. Like this and chupacabras are just like a huge thing down there, because they have, they're deeply beliefs in that kind of thing. So, like the Day of the Dead thing, they have that belief system where this is like certainly possible. So the La Llorona one is always super cool. It's a really good urban legend, but there's a lot more, I guess you could say, factual stuff around it, because it's more of a sighting thing. It's not like an urban, like you know what I mean. It's not not I keep referring to like killer in the backseat or whatever. So yeah. It's a good one. It's definitely a cool one.
Yeah, it's one I probably have the least amount of knowledge on this list. I saw the movie, and it's kind of in the Conjuring universe.
Oh, really?
It depends on who you talk to. One says yes, one says no. But it's a pretty weak movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'll have to look into like the actual.
It's a little more believable too, I think.
Yes.
Not that I believe in ghosts or anything, but I'm saying if you have a lot of sorrow as a mom and you lost your kids for whatever reason, it makes me think like, could there be like a spiritual thing that because of that sorrow, it, this transpired.
Right.
And it's like, well,
yeah, I mean, possibly. It all kind of depends on what you believe in, but yeah. I mean, that's kind of how like the what is it? The Grudge. Like when there's like a terrible crime committed, like the spirit doesn't leave,
right?
Type deal.
Yeah, spirits in sorrow, right? If there's something horrific that happens, so that's why spirits like linger.
Kind of gives me like a more believable vibe, and that makes it that much more scary.
Yeah, that's definitely a cool one. We can definitely look into that at some point. Yeah, even on over with us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's something I'd be interested in actually learning some stuff about.
Yeah. It's a rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We always find rabbit holes.
Yeah, I go down one every day.
Everything's a rabbit hole.
Everything's a rabbit hole.
So the next one is snuff films.
Yes.
So
favorite.
Not
what?
What is it? Snuff?
Snuff films.
What does that mean?
Okay. Most accepted definitions of a snuff film describe a staged murder recorded and sold for profit, often involving an element of sexual assault. Videos of accidental death and execution can unfortunately be found in the vast corners of the internet, but all confirmed recordings were either found and distributed by third-party sources or made for some purpose other than financial gain. While rumors of the tapes have swirled since the origins of cinematic pornography, a verified snuff film has never been found.
Okay. Allegedly. We grew up in the internet era, so I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So in addition to Michael Finley's 1976 publicity stunt film Snuff, the legend was adapted into Joel Schumacher's 8mm. When a wealthy widow cleans out her husband's personal effects, she finds a disturbing tape containing what appears to be an authentic murder. Hired to learn the truth, private investigator Tom Wells, played by Nicolas the Rage Cage, goes on a harrowing journey through the seedy world of exploitive film. Critically panned, 8mm teams with sleaze and grime. However, an exploration of the world of violent pornography should perhaps not feel like a comforting watch.
What was the movie we talked about a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago? Remember there's a horror film that they were like, it was so like gory and bloody that they thought these people were actually dying on the movie.
Cannibal Holocaust?
Yeah, that might be it. But that kind of gives that vibe.
Right.
But like I said, we grew up in the internet era, right? So we had Faces of Death.
Faces of Death, yeah.
We had
which they're remaking, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was the rotten.com?
Yeah.
Watch people die on Reddit. You know, there was all kinds of, so I think that's why we're so like numb to this stuff too, because we grew up and people were like, watch this video, and then it's some dude getting hit by a tank.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this one is like the snuff film. First of all, if you're gonna like commit murder, why would you record it? And a lot of like, I guess, movies are based on, like, if you look at let's say Saw, you know, that's kind of if it was filmed like, and he was putting them through that's kind of what they would say was like snuff film. Right. So
yeah, there's quite a few movies. Vacancy is another one that's kind of like that.
Yeah, Hostel.
Yeah. So yeah, snuff films.
Thinking more. I'm sorry, I was thinking more like
pornographic.
No, like is it a snuff film if you're trying to actually not kill somebody, but make other people believe, the population believe that they are dead, like CIA kind of stuff. Is that, you know what I'm saying? Well, like the angle I'm going after this.
Jeffrey Epstein.
maybe, but it's like those in the movie too. I can't remember the movie, but like they staged this murder scene and they're totally not dead, but they're lying there with like ketchup, you know, and it's like
Eraser.
Yeah,
Eraser.
Yeah, I think it was. Is that a snuff? Is that snuff film?
No, these are talking more like realistic, like shot with a video camera where you're like torturing somebody and then you know,
okay, so
you cut their head off or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
the sexual
like
component.
Yeah, usually starts kind of like porn. Then it kind of goes darker, torture, darker, death.
I just noticed the La Llorona picture you have hanging on your wall back there.
Never heard of it. That was.
Is that the one that changes when the angle you look at it? Yeah.
Don't know a thing about it. But yeah, it's interesting that there's like obviously like the legend of snuff films is a lot bigger than what would be real. But I was always in the impression that snuff films were a thing.
Yeah.
So for this to say there's never been a snuff film verified.
It seems generational too.
It does.
Like now that we have the internet. Yeah. Like it's not just like dudes sitting around. Look, I got this film of this girl. You know.
Yeah. I mean, you can literally pull up a video of somebody dying. Right now. On the internet.
Are you going to?
No.
Okay. That's Matt's Instagram reel. There's just people dying.
Apparently,
Yeah. You want to know what a snuff film is? It's your Instagram reel.
it's my
There you
Instagram
go.
reel. Jeez. I don't understand it.
My internet's not working right now anyway, so I couldn't pull up a snuff film if I wanted to.
Oh, geez.
So the babysitter and the man upstairs.
Ooh.
So one of the most endearing urban legends of all time follows a babysitter tormented by mysterious phone calls. An anonymous voice repeatedly telephones asking if she's checked the children until police confirm that the calls are coming from inside the house. Survival with the children varies from version to version, but the story almost always concludes with the babysitter escaping into the arms of police as the man chases her out the front door. This story comes to life in one of horror's most terrifying opening sequences, When a Stranger Calls. Begins with a high school babysitter named Jill, played by Carol Kane, who receives increasingly deranged calls from a man with a British accent. Playing out like the infamous legend, Jill flees the house as the man emerges from the upstairs hallway covered with the blood of the children she was supposed to be watching. 7 years later, Jill receives a similar call while out to dinner with her husband, then rushes home to check on her own 2 children. Calls are coming from inside the house.
Okay.
Like a scream, like a
Scream was
what is it? Ring? Is that one Ring?
Ring?
No, the Ring was the well.
Yeah.
I think there was a
7
phone.
days.
There was a phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a phone element to that.
Oh yeah.
It calls
yeah,
you watch
yeah.
the tape, it calls you
Yeah.
and says 7 days.
I want to know how are the calls coming from inside the house? If this legend like precedes cell phones,
Right. Which it does, yeah.
Yeah, where they're like, you can't pick up the phone inside the house. The calls are coming from inside the house.
Right.
How? It doesn't work.
No.
I think, and yes, because the telephone, right, is can ring, and functionally it does ring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
How?
This
is-
is a landline, children, for anybody that's listening that is born after
That's true,
2005.
It's like when you pick up the same phone in your house, like the one phone and like there's a phone upstairs, you're on the same line, basically.
Yeah, you
So-
can't like ring it.
Yeah, you can't. No.
Yeah, this is one that would actually work a lot better
Now.
right now
Yeah.
because of cell phones.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, if back in the day, yeah.
It's a
unless
Wednesday.
unless you, or is it a Thursday?
No, back in the day it was a Wednesday. If you
Was a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Or was it Thursday? Exactly.
But yeah, unless you're like in a fucking giant ass like mansion that has 2 phone lines, then maybe.
Yeah,
but like
maybe.
this is like, middle class, lower class.
Yeah. Again, it's a warning.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Always check the children.
Beware of your surroundings.
That's
Keep
right.
an eye on children. Don't let strangers in the house.
Stranger danger.
Yep. That's not a thing anymore. It's so wild. That was one of ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Growing
Stranger
up,
danger.
stranger danger.
We're bringing it back.
Okay.
Oh,
Tell my kids.
What?
What?
Oh yeah.
That one.
Yeah, we may or may not.
had that.
We may or may not have talked about this on our show.
We talked about that one.
What is it? Tell me. What is it?
What do we call them? BECs,
BECs.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it says the black-eyed children,
There you go.
right?
Yeah.
The
we made
BECs.
we made a bunch of black-eyed peas jokes on the episode.
did
So
we?
yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm
not.
pretty
not
sure.
I don't
tasty.
get
That's
the
terrible.
I don't get the correlation there.
Okay.
Of all the monsters on this list,
All of them.
these mysterious children may be the most frightening. While sitting in his car one night in 1996, a Texas? Why is that so hard to say? A Texas reporter named Brian Bethel was approached by 2 teens with black eyes, demanding a ride home. Said to bring headaches and intense feelings of dread, these sinister kids usually dress in old-fashioned clothes and approach in pairs, begging for assistance or asking to be let into your home. Don't ever let them in. Little was known about the unnerving creatures, as no one has ever let them in and lived to tell the tale. The Hulu series, Into the Dark, adapted this legend with Christian Coda's 2019 entry, They Come Knocking. This mind-bending horror follows a newly widowed father on a cross-country road trip with his grieving children when a group of kids with empty black eyes set up camp outside their RV. The indie film, Sunshine Girl and the Hunt for Black-Eyed Kids, also tackles this strange phenomenon, but perhaps it's time for the black-eyed children to make their debut on the big screen.
I got this pulled up.
All right.
Right. So journalist Brian Bethel, Abilene, Texas. Is credited as the first person to post online account of black-eyed children phenomenon. It is dated back to 1996, which is pretty recent in most times. Bethel's sitting in his car writing a check he intended to drop off a nearby internet provider's office. What a weird time. He was startled by the sound of knocking on his window and looked up to see the two kids. He couldn't figure out why, but a jolt of fear ran through him. They were just kids, but something was wrong with them and he couldn't figure it out. He cracks the window just enough. The oldest of the two boys asked for a ride to their mother's house. He claimed that they were going to see a movie. And they forgot their money. They needed a ride so they could go back and make it in time for the movie. The movie theater was close enough that Bethel could read the marquee, so asked the boys what they were going to see. Mortal Kombat. The OG Mortal Kombat.
Good choice.
Brian knew the movie was already started an hour ago. Also, he was there was something wrong about the pair. The way that they spoke wasn't natural. They didn't sound as young as they looked. It goes on. Just let us in. We'll be gone before you know it. We'll go to our mother's house. Everything the older boy said sent shivers down Bethel's spine, but then he saw it. The pitch black eyes lacking any real substance or soul. Bethel didn't even try to hide his horror. And they said, "Come on, mister. We won't hurt you. You have to let us in. We don't have a gun." The more he spoke, the more Bethel was sure that he had to get out of there. He threw his car in reverse, fucking cheesed it, and gave one quick glance behind. Saw nothing. The black-eyed boy simply vanished before he could even make it out of the parking lot. That is the story. So, if you continue to look into these, there's one in 2016 out of Vermont in a snowstorm. Okay. It's all snowed in. It's you can't go anywhere. These two boys show up. This is the story that we had the most conflict on, because she kind of lets them in, and then there's all kinds of shenanigans. You know, it's shenanigans ensue, as you do. And
It's just the one with the cats.
Yeah, with the dead cats and the
Three.
Yeah,
Three total cats. Two were never found. One was found dead.
yeah. That is the big. Was that? I bet you we had a 20-minute conversation about where the cats went.
Yeah. Where'd the cats go?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So, they walked out the front door and watched the creepy children got into a black car with two very tall men in suits. Dun dun dun. It's either CIA or Men in Black or
more slender men.
More
Yes,
slender
men.
Slender men. Now they're plural.
men. Oh lordy!
Now they're gathering in groups.
They're multiplying.
It's the prequel to or this whatever sequel.
How many slender persons were there?
Two slender man. Slender men.
Oh, you got that list pulled back up there?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, the website's
Yeah, I
fucking
figured you were
fucked.
pulling it up on your phone.
Yep.
Black-eyed kids. Super
Black-eyed kids.
super creepy, super new. I mean, within
Yeah.
the last 30 years. But this is more spectral or demonic, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't carry a human origin, right? It's
yeah.
not like killer upstairs or killer in my back seat or
But also like when this guy said, what's his name, Bethel?
yeah, Brian Bethel.
Brian Bethel. When he's like, I had a moment of dread. So these kids, they portray that to you and you feel it immediately.
That's when
right?
your whole insides liquefy.
So that's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to picture here. Have I felt that ever in my life? And it wasn't because of black-eyed children, but I can get that. I can sense that kind of terror, I guess.
Yeah.
Is what it amounts to, I suppose.
Would you punch a black-eyed kid if you had to? And here's a better question:
Is
How
it
many
because you
kindergartens?
punch them, they have a black eye?
How many kindergartners do you think you could fight before they took you down?
Oh, I don't know. One.
One kindergartner?
Yeah. All they
You
got
were
to
just
do
like,
is one good shot, man.
One good shot. I always
Down.
thought I could take at least 20.
No.
Are they coming in waves or all at the same time? I need to know, what do I get to use? Can I pick up desks?
Are they Mike Tyson's children?
Yeah,
Are we talking?
are these like UFC fighters? Is this kid like yoked?
Do they pick up fridges?
In that case, can they help me this weekend? Move a refrigerator.
We're painting the kitchen.
Oh, I can't with you.
Next topic is
You.
child
Next
labor.
topic.
Child labor. Picking up refrigerators. What do we got?
They offered to help. It's fun.
They offered.
The next one is the Bell
Let me in.
Witch.
Let me in.
Would you
No.
let them in?
No.
What?
I
Black-eyed
mean-
kids?
No. Well, yeah.
No.
But no, also.
no
No,
black-eyed
also.
children, no vampires. No,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
honestly,
you don't let
strangers.
them in.
What
You just don't let them in, Matt.
what is that? What is that?
What?
What is what?
There's some
The not-
threshold between your house and the
Yeah.
outside
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your home. It's your
sanctuary.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
my sanctuary. Is that
Mhm.
what we're going with here?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What if the black guy said, "Well, come on outside"?
I think it's
No, what?
it's the invite. You have to make the invite, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That just seems weird. It's awkward.
Well,
Very awkward situation.
We're going down the same
All
rabbit
right,
hole.
next.
We're going down the same rabbit hole.
It's just awkward.
Argue about this.
Can I come in?
No, kid.
No.
Can
Who
you come
are
out?
All right, what's out there? It's way scarier out there than it is in here.
want to build a snowman. All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Enough of that.
Mhm.
The Bell Witch.
The Bell Witch.
The Bell
The
Witch.
Bell Witch.
This
All right.
Appalachian legend is one of the rare few to be documented in the annals of history. From 1817 to 1821, the Bell family of what is now Adams, Tennessee, became the victims of a spirit known as the Bell Witch. Claiming to be, quote, old Kate Batts's witch, this entity focused its attention on the family's youngest daughter and eventually killed patriarch John Bell. Quite the showman, the Bell Witch liked to perform for guests, and stories of her cheeky antics traveled far and wide. Possibly a poltergeist, this flamboyant spirit was also known to appear as a large black dog with the head of a rabbit. Over time, a nearby cave has become a part of the legend, with visitors reporting strange noises coming from deep inside the earth. So, though based on a fictitious legend, folklore from the found footage phenomenon, the Blair Witch Project, bears a striking resemblance to this rural tale. The story follows three filmmakers as they venture into the Maryland woods to document the existence of the Blair Witch. This vengeful entity is reportedly the spirit of Ellie Kedward, a woman executed for witchcraft in the 1700s. She supposedly still haunts the local woods and hunts anyone who ventures into her territory.
I can't help you on this one.
No?
I'm not
Nothing.
privy to the Bell Witch.
Hmm.
I've never looked it up. Never did any research
Wait,
on it.
we're saying it's synonymous to the Blair Witch?
It's
Or
the
The Blair Witch movie was kind of based on this
the
real
Bell Witch.
this real urban legend.
yeah. It's a real close tie to the words.
Wait,
Blair
wait.
Witch. Bell
Is
Witch.
the Bell Witch and the Blair Witch the same person or not?
No.
They are different witches.
Different witches.
It's not my witch.
One
Not my
is
Not my problem.
perhaps real. The other
Yeah,
one was
right.
for the movie.
Ergot poisoning.
So
That's what
yeah.
that's Salem. Sorry, completely different thing.
Colloidal silver.
Another
yeah,
rabbit
colloidal
hole.
silver.
Mm.
That's cool. That's I'd probably like to. That's probably right up my alley for looking into stuff like
Yeah.
that. I was thinking whenever that popped up, not the Bell Witch, but who put Bella in the witch helm, which is a completely different story.
Who did it?
They don't know.
Oh. Damn it.
She was missing her hand. She was in a witch helm. She was in a witch helm, and I believe that was in England. But they found like skeleton, and they don't know who put Bella in the witch helm.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a cool story.
Oh,
But I
yeah,
always
witch
get it
helm.
confused. But the Bell Witch thing, I've never really looked into it.
Hmm.
Maybe I should.
The missing hand thing in a witch makes me think of Fear Street,
Mm.
the Netflix little 3-part
Yeah.
series. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a
That was
kinda
pretty
key
good.
thing in that.
I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
It was decent.
yeah, I liked it. It was good.
Why'd they remove the hands?
Can't tell you spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Don't do that.
But yeah, that's another one that, like I've seen Blair Witch.
I have
but
too.
as far as the Bell Witch, not too familiar. So
Yeah, that's a good tie though.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's kind of found footage thing. Like,
do you think people?
I want to know the whole story. I'll probably look it up tonight. I want to know the whole story because it seems like there's a lot to that one.
Right.
Maybe they just want people out of that property, and they're like,
which?
How would we do this? Yeah, like Loch Ness. No.
Okay, use that one again.
Bigfoot. No. Witch. Okay,
Witch.
everyone has a
She's
witch.
a
We don't
witch.
have a witch. We're getting a witch.
You get a witch.
You get a
You
witch.
get a witch.
You get a witch.
Everyone gets a witch.
Everybody gets a witch.
So
You know what they say about Bigfoot, right?
Oh Lord.
Big
what?
feet, big meat.
Okay.
So he's not blurry. They're just censoring him.
Oh, jeez.
You got to carry that thing around. You got to be censored.
He's always blurry.
He's always blurry, and that's
He's always
why.
Blurry.
That's why, man.
Got to keep it PG-13.
Just saying, we've never seen Jay and Bigfoot in the same room together.
Mm-hmm.
He's not blurry though.
Currently.
Currently,
You're
trying
Not
to take
from the desk
Wait,
up, at
wait,
least.
yeah, wait till we
we're
Winnie the
blurred out
Pooh's
from
it.
underneath the desk here.
Start Winnie the Poohing.
That's
Winnie
right.
the Pooh.
So our next one's the elevator game. So this ritualistic bit of modern folklore likely originated in Japan and South Korea, but was popularized in the West after a tragic death at the Cecil Hotel.
Don't know that one.
Cecil.
Oh, I know
I was
this
gonna
one.
Say what?
Well, I know this one.
So the elevator game involves an intricate list of instructions designed to open a portal to another world. Once the game begins, you must follow the procedure exactly, navigating to each floor in the sequence without exiting the elevator. If a mysterious presence should pass through the doors while stopped on 5, you are not to look at or engage with her in any way. If played correctly, the final step will take the elevator up to the 10th floor where the doors will open into another dimension. So Rebecca McKendry's 2023 film, The Elevator Game, brings this hellish experiment to life as the cast of a paranormal web series attempts to recreate the ritual in a nearby office building. Weeks after a high school student disappeared while trying to complete the intricate game, these teens attempt to access the rumored dimension only to find the horror spilling out of the elevator doors and into their homes. So yeah, this one's really interesting. I watched that movie not too long ago. It was all right.
I think
But
I've seen that. Yeah.
the actual kind of lore behind it is it's pretty, creepy.
There's a sequence, right? It's like the 5th floor and then the 7th floor,
Yeah.
and then you got to go back up to one floor, and if you mess it up, you got to.
Yeah.
But then, like, apparently the doors open and like you're in hell. That's the
Yeah.
gist of the like urban legend. Now, the Eliza Lamb thing is, man, that story. So to give you a little, background on that story, the girl was down on Skid Row. That's where this Cecil Hotel. It's fancy as it sounds. It's not fancy. So she was staying there, probably on a break from college. She had some mental breaks. She was on a whole bunch of medicine, and there's a really famous video of her like running from something.
Right.
But that something is never there. Like she's looking out the elevator both ways and like nothing, they never see anything. And like she's like panicked in my idea, she's having like a huge mental breakdown, but the video's so creepy. And then like for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, like she was gone and nobody knew. Parents couldn't check in on her. Nobody knew where. This is pretty recent too. So this is like mid 2000s, I would say. But nobody could get a hold of her. And then the only reason that they ever discovered what happened to poor Eliza Lamb was the water started turning brown in the other rooms. Okay. So they go up, the maintenance guy goes up to the roof to open the like big cistern that holds the water on the roof. And she was in there, like no clothes, just in there. There's a lot of theories on why and how and who, and it's a wild, wild story. And the video, the internet video of her running from whatever she was running from, whether it was imaginary or really a person. The Cecil Hotel's like super haunted. Like people have jumped out of like windows. People have thrown like babies out windows there. The place is crazy. Like it's not even the Cecil Hotel anymore. It's like the Stay on Main or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but it's a rundown, down like in the inner city, Skid Row, like people on their last pennies. You can stay there for like $40 a month. You know, it's a shithole. But she wasn't down on her like luck, but she had money. Her parents had money. She was going to college, and then she just kind of like, yeah, it's a sad story.
The elevator, yeah,
yeah.
I'm trying to remember in the folklore is when the door closes, and you didn't leave it open, right? Then you're stuck. Is that how that went? You're stuck there.
Maybe
and maybe I'm thinking of a different scenario here.
Yeah,
because there was
I don't know. That seems like the same kind of.
That to me is probably the scariest part. It's like, you have like the door jamb, like that little door wedge. That you put under, and like someone kicks it out, and then the door closes. You're like, no.
Yeah,
that to me is horrifying. Because you can't, like, you open the door and it's just like a brick wall or something. You're like, fuck, and I can't. Like, you're stuck.
I have an irrational fear of elevators.
Okay.
That are over like 10 stories.
Right.
Like if I go up like 1 or 2, I'm good. No. But like anything that's going way up, and I'm on there for
horror
like
stories of
I'm on there for more than 30 seconds, I start to panic a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What makes the whole Cecil Hotel thing even more weird, if you know, because we need that.
Yeah.
So. Have you ever seen the movie Dark Water?
Maybe.
So there was the original movie out of Japan was in 2002. It was a remake, an American remake in 2005 with Jennifer Connelly. What happens in that movie, obviously not the same events, but the conclusion, same exact thing.
Oh, yeah.
Someone
found in
the water tower type deal.
Yeah. In like a rundown hotel? Does it kind of like match everything?
Like an apartment building.
Oh, okay.
So like, the water's all fucked up and all this weird shit's going on. And that's what finally they find that's what it is. So that was, like I said, 2002 was the original, 2005 was the remake. Elisa Lam was 2013.
Yeah.
So it's weird. Like usually it's complete opposite. Like the actual event happens and they kind of take that and base the movies and stories on it.
2013. I thought it was.
But yeah, it's just weird that cool. Like exact kind of thing happened in real life. Like,
yeah, sometimes real life's
it's weird,
crazier than fiction.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
just weird. Weird.
What else we got on the list?
On the list, we got the last one on the list here.
I got lists. I got 100. I got 100 urban legends.
I'll see your 100. I'll raise you 200.
Yeah, I'll raise you another 100.
We're staying all night. So the last one on the bloody disgusting list here: organ theft and the kidney heist.
Yes.
So variations of this legend include a night on the town followed by a hellish revelation the next morning. The unlucky victim awakens either covered in blood or laying in an icy bathtub with a crude incision on his abdomen. A note informs him that his kidney has been removed and advises he seek medical care. A more generalized version warns of a black market network in which organs are harvested and sold to high-paying bidders. While there have been reports of human tissue stolen and distributed for transplant in some third-world countries, no actual evidence of organ profiteering has ever been found. The 2006 film Touristus brings this disturbing story to life as a group of backpackers become the hostages of a Brazilian group of organ harvesters. Falling at the height of the torture porn era, this harrowing film mixes survival horror with medical trauma to deliver an upsetting story about power and privilege and an updated reminder to never stray far from the beaten path.
Oh, this was a Jessica Alba movie. Well, one
that wasn't, but
that one was. But there was one with her in it, and it's she got real close to this guy, and she made him sick or something, and then he was hospitalized, and the mother was there. If it wasn't for the mother, I think his organs would have been gone in the movie.
Right.
In the movie. That's pretty scary, though.
Yeah, I like in the article they're like, no such thing has ever been. Come on now.
Right?
Oh, my God.
That stuff's got to happen. In case in point, it's an urban legend, right? Yeah. So it's bred from actual events in some way, shape, or form. Whether that whole thing has been crazily blown out of proportion in any way. But, that kind of stuff has to happen in real life. You go out with your friends, you meet some girl, and she takes you back to the room, and next thing you know, you're missing a kidney. I have another question about that. Why only take one kidney? I think I've had this conversation with multiple people about, why don't you just, if you're going to go through all that, why don't you just kill them and take both kidneys? Like, you get
just
more
take the
money.
rest of the organs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Good question.
Yeah, because probably heart and some lungs and are kidneys that profitable that you're like, I just gotta get one of them, get out of
We
here.
really need one kidney.
Yeah.
Go get it.
It's called Awake.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of
Awake.
the...
Awake.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Oh, yeah,
I think I have seen that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hostel kind of took that idea and ran with it.
Yeah.
Kind of upped it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there's quite a few movies.
Yeah. Torture
Things out
porn.
there.
Isn't that what they call it? Something like that.
That,
I
yeah,
forget
like
what
that
it's
was the Hostel Saw,
Yeah.
like mid-2000s era.
You know, I could see like actually doing this, not for organ theft.
Like you could see yourself doing
No,
this?
I'm saying
I was just going to say the same thing. I'm like, Matt, I'm going to have to keep a closer eye on you.
Dr. Bumbeeno's here.
who I could see doing this, and this would be in the time period of like, I don't know, Jack the Ripper, okay, time period, which isn't that long ago, honestly.
No. H.H.
is-
Holmes, you mean? Sorry, go ahead.
Is like just up and coming doctors that are trying to become doctors. You know what I mean? They're,
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you all
Just
right?
throwing shit.
Is this making you uncomfortable?
No.
Yeah.
Do you have all your organs?
I think so. Last I checked, yeah.
Yeah, you're on
Check.
you're on a
Ian
good
has
point
organs.
though. Just you're a good point. Like they back when they were like, you have ghosts in your blood, do cocaine about it. You know, it's like
Yeah. So these doctors are like trying hard. Like cadavers are expensive, right? So they find a different way.
Yeah,
H.H. Holmes written all over it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So not necessarily organ theft. They just they want all your organs so they can study them.
Yeah.
But they're doing it illegally. I could see that happening, and I think it,
It
has
has
happened. Yeah.
H.H. Holmes is a great example.
Sounds like a ship.
He was taking cadavers and selling. He was killing people and selling the cadavers to colleges.
Mm-hmm.
And his
Yeah, see,
murder
there you go.
murder castle he
Yeah.
had. And,
There you go. See, I knew it. I
Then you
just
pop
knew
over to
it.
England, do some things,
Do
come
Jack,
back.
Jack Ripper for a couple years and come
Yeah.
back. Yeah, you're just
Yeah, sounds believable. I believe it. I believe it.
Do you have anything that you populated there, Bumbeeno, on your
I think there
that
was
we haven't covered?
in my list.
Yeah.
I don't have 100.
He's got a list.
Okay, but-
we've all got a list.
But he's got 99.
I had 5. Okay, I had 5, and out of the 5, you talked about Bloody Mary. You talked about Slender Man.
Yeah.
You talked about the babysitter and the man upstairs. Right.
Calls coming from inside the house.
But I don't think
But-
you talked about the vanishing hitchhiker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So a driver picks up a hitchhiker. This is the general sense of it. Who mysteriously disappears from the car, leaving behind a belonging as proof of their presence.
Oh, okay.
Similar to like, but not murdery, but certainly kind of spooky.
We have a
Yeah.
very good example of that right here in town.
Mm-hmm.
Is the white lady.
Oh, there you go.
So you come down the hill and she's standing there thumbing for a ride, and then you get in, or she just appears in the back seat, and
Right.
she was, a lover scorn where her husband or she died on her wedding night. The white lady thing is like a big urban legend folklore thing. They're
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh,
They're all
yeah,
over
yeah.
the place. Walking on train tracks and stuff like that. But yeah, vanishing
The
hitchhiker.
vanishing hitchhiker.
Yeah.
That's an urban legend.
That is
And the last one on my list is the hook. The hook. Yeah.
the hook.
It revolves-
brings you back.
Rufio. Not that hook.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. But maybe.
We all had different renditions of
I
that.
know, right?
Our minds went 3 different ways. It's hilarious.
It revolves around a couple parked in a remote area hearing about an escaped mental patient with a hook for a hand. That's the urban legend.
Or like they're scratching on the roof of the car and they can't figure out what it is, and they go out and like the boyfriend gets out and then like she's like, what's going on? And she gets out and his toes are just scraping the top of the car because
Right.
he was hung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of those are actually in Urban Legend, the movie. Yeah.
There you go.
That's that is, and they're cautionary tales for reason, right? Don't go making out
Yeah.
up at make out point or and or you like what they were trying to do with those ones is prevent teenage pregnancy, right?
Yeah.
That's what those urban legends are for. Escaped. You never know. There could be a killer in the woods just waiting for people to make out.
Absolutely.
As killers do.
As they do.
Folklore and urban legends tie together a lot in a lot of different things. One thing that we didn't cover for urban legends are sewer alligators.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody had that growing up. They were like, they're over in Pittsburgh, there's alligators in the sewer. And then they found one. And they were like, holy shit, there's an alligator in the sewer.
Why not?
There's some other ones on here. Mr. Rogers was a sniper.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was a Navy SEAL or a Green Beret or whatever. That was all debunked like a couple years ago. Gates of Hell, that is in Pittsburgh, or not Pittsburgh, the Philadelphia area, Bucks County. You can see one of the gates during the day, but you can walk through the rest of them. And if you walk through the last gate, you're in hell. 7 gates of hell. Your teeth dissolving from drinking too much soda.
Oh, true, yeah.
Urban legend.
Totally.
There's
I drink this.
you're gonna drink that.
I'm going to drink this.
Big one. Urban legend. Not so much urban legend, but I guess it is. Laced Halloween candy.
Oh, yeah.
There's a razor blade in my Halloween candy. There's fentanyl in my Halloween candy. There's somebody put a bag of weed instead of something in my candy.
That was probably a mistake.
Don't go to that house. They're going to give you drugs.
What house? Where?
Yeah, right.
You guys know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to make sure I know that so I don't go
I
there.
was scared as a child, and then as an adult, I'm like, where's that house?
Yeah. I think
Backfired.
the thing with that too is like, if you get on the wiki for a list of urban legends, it breaks it down by alphabetically. So
Okay.
you have to like, okay, what are we? Loveland Frog. It's a urban legend of a legendary humanoid frog that was standing on an overpass and 4.5 foot tall. If you go down through these and it's broken down, there's some of them that don't seem like urban legends, but they do seem like folklore legends. So, I mean, we talked about a bunch of these throughout our career in podcasting, right?
Right.
There's so many legends or irrational fears, right? There's difference between a legend and a fear of something. So if we're really looking at like different localized or spanning, because these ones are urban legends that everybody knows. It's not local,
right,
or within our state or anything like that. So it's interesting. Like like I said though, in my like conclusion here, I think a lot of these are like precautionary tales,
for sure.
For children, because that's where your fear comes. Because by the time you're like our age, you're not like nobody's gonna cut my kidney out of my body, or would they?
Will they?
Or will the Bumbeeno?
I'm not trying to be a doctor, so
that seems like a lot of work, though. You got to pick somebody up, cut a kidney out, clean everything up, put them in the ice bath. Seems like
it does. It is messy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. You're in a hotel. You're in in the Cecil or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it though. Legends are my thing. For the most
they're always
part.
interesting.
Yeah, and where they come from is really the big one too. Like if you try to find out of any urban legend, one of the big ones out of our state was the Pittsburgh Green Man. So that was one of the first episodes I did because I always found that tale fascinating. They're like, there's this green man that wanders Pittsburgh's lower south side, and like he smokes out of the side of his cheek because his face is all messed up and everything, and he scares children, and he lives in a abandoned railroad tunnel. It's an urban legend. But the shit is real. Like he was a real guy that got hit by a down power line when he was a child.
Right.
But he was like a pillar of the community.
Yeah.
Like he helped people out. People would give him food, and he was not, he didn't work 9 to 5 and have a home, or anything like that. But he was a great person. But now this legend of this Green Man of Pittsburgh will forever be stuck in the cultural zeitgeist because of what happened to him. And it's not even anything scary. It's just something horrific that maybe to teach another lesson about, getting hit by high electricity current, but there's so many of them. There's so many of them that tie, like even with the Pittsburgh Green Man, like don't be out past 10 o'clock. Well, that's just a precautionary tale to have your children in by, because they were like, oh, the Green Man will get you. Well, the guy's just over there having his cup of coffee. He's like, the fuck did I do? You know what I mean? He's just he's just a normal dude. So
yeah, that one was interesting. I found a list of PA ones, and the first two were the Seven Gates of Hell and the Green Man.
Yeah. Did you ever watch M. Night Shyamalan? Obviously, all his movies.
Just him?
Yeah, just watch him.
Yeah, I have a live feed into his house right now.
He's showering right now. Holy, he's blurry.
The Village?
The Village. Well, all of his movies are filmed in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. So The Village, though, there is at the end, no spoilers, but the movie's fucking 20 years old. Right. At the end of the movie, when she crawls out, she's on this road, and these trees are like bent over, and so this is the Devil's Road, essentially in Bucks County, where they say that the devil let out this scream that bent all the trees in that, because all the trees, those trees are real. Mm-hmm. They really grew that way. So there's an insane asylum, and people chase you off of the Devil's Road. And
is it where the trees like arc over the road?
No, I'm pretty sure these are all the trees are bent one way. Like there was some kind of like force that was let out that bent all these trees, and they
like
all grew like some wind or
like
something.
Some wind.
Yeah, but they grew this way. They go up and then they bend. Yeah. Like at a certain point, something catastrophic had happened, and the trees are bent. So this is the Devil's Road. Maybe they're trying to improve their golf game. There was a tree with the roots undone that to show the skulls. Like the roots look like a skull, and they said that's where mothers would put their aborted babies. And there's so many things that are urban legend, but the chasing people off of Devil's Road. I've watched some videos about that, and people actually have been like chased off the road, but it's not public property. Right. It's like owned by somebody. So
the devil.
Owned by the devil.
You pay taxes?
On this list for PA, there was one that we didn't talk about that kind of stood out. It's the house on Ridge Avenue in Pittsburgh.
The house on Ridge Avenue.
So it is the house on Ridge Avenue, or the Congolier House, was for a long time considered to be the most haunted house in America. In fact, Thomas Edison once visited when he was experimenting with seance. What happened to inspire such ghost tales, you ask? The original owner of the house, Charles Congolier, was discovered having an affair with the maid by his wife, who murdered the couple. A few days later, a neighbor discovered Mrs. Congolier muttering at the maid's decapitated head, which she had cradled in her lap while she sat in a rocking chair. As if that incident wasn't enough, the next owner of the house was a reclusive doctor, who, it was discovered, had a collection of women's heads in the basement that he was using for experimentation.
Nice.
Right? After the crazy doctor, the house was converted into housing for immigrant workers who moved once they began mysteriously dying one by one. Eventually, the house exploded, leaving only a crater in its path. Locals insisted that it had been transported back to hell, where it came from.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sounded, I don't know, it reminded me of like the first season of American Horror Story.
Oh, okay.
Murder House.
Yeah.
Got those vibes from it.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, right.
I bet a lot of these movies, again, they derive from these.
There's another one out in Pittsburgh, kind of sounds the same way. It's the Devil of Brownsville Road. The Demon of Brownsville Road.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bed and breakfast now. You can go stay at it.
It's a bed and breakfast.
There's all kinds of those. Like even getting back into the urban legend type of thing. There's urban legends about like giant catfish that swim in the Monongahela River. You know, and they were like, the reason that this giant agua, this is what they called it, is the urban legend goes like, you don't swim out so far that the agua will get you. Well, the problem is in the middle of the Monongahela River is deeper per se, like a channel, right? So it's not like this. It actually has like a channel underneath it, which changes current. So that if you went out too far, you can get caught in that current and pulled.
Right.
Right. So the giant fish eating you, I guess, is way more acknowledgeable to a child than saying under this water, there's water that moves in a different direction than this water. So the scare tactic again is there, where they're like, there's a giant fish out there and it can eat you. Well, realistically, these parents are just trying to protect their kids from an undercurrent. So again, with the urban legends being a precursor for safety. So.
Right. It's very creative. I like it.
I like all of it. And that's why I used to do my midweeks all the time. I just don't have time to do that, but I used to
creatively scare the shit out of your kids. That's the thing.
I do that on a daily basis.
Yeah, well,
I'm like, don't go down the street. There's a wolf man.
Clown statue. Just pops out of nowhere.
Clowns.
Well, there you go.
One of my kids doesn't do well with clowns.
Yeah, see,
Clowns in the sewers.
Clowns in the sewers, yeah.
Watch out for this.
God,
Stealing boats and shit.
Stealing boats and shit.
It's funny you mentioned that doctor has a bunch of heads, and I just talked about doctors taking body parts and stuff.
Yeah.
That one's interesting though.
It is.
That one on Ridge Ave. It's interesting. And there's so many of them. Like, I'm a buff on that stuff, and then you were like,
yeah,
here's a legend. I'm like, I've never heard that one. So
was it Congolier? Congolier family? Congolier house? Okay.
Yeah. Something like that. Just more stuff to look into.
Oh my
just
gosh.
more stuff to look
There's
into.
how do you remember all these? You can't.
Bellswitch.
You can't.
I do. I do. I don't remember them to the point where I'm like, I can like Wikipedia them off the top of my head, but I know the gist and some of the meanings and backgrounds of like the Agua one. Like, that was real, like the giant catfish in the Monongahela, you know. They're all over the place.
I'm sure.
Giant catfish.
Wherever there's child safety concerns, there is an urban legend.
You summed up the whole entire episode. Hit that exit button so we can.
Yeah, we'll see that later.
Hit that exit button.
But yeah, it's always interesting. Yeah, talking about that, and yeah, it's super creative what people have come up with.
Yeah,
it's crazy to kind of see how it starts from one thing and has turned into something else, or been added to over the years. And of course, it's it's provided us much entertainment in movie form, as well. So
yeah, not all these people reinvent the wheel when they write these movies. They're just like, I came across the Jersey Devil. We're making a movie in the Pine Barrens in New Jersey, or Pine Barrens of somewhere. Like, sounds a lot like the Jersey Devil. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah. Good creative stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Out of legends and local legends, not all urban. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
like it.
Was crossing the beams an urban legend?
You never cross beams.
You never. But why?
What beams are we talking
I don't
about
know what
here?
you're talking about. I was just making a Ghostbusters
When two guys
reference.
are in the bathroom together.
Okay.
No.
Oh, streams?
Ghost bumpers.
Oh,
Ghost bumpers.
So you are talking about Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
What are you talking about?
Jesus.
Beams. It's
Ghost
streams.
Bumper.
You don't cross streams.
You don't cross
Not beams.
Beams. Streams. Sorry. Streams.
So yeah, so I was right. That's what I was
you never.
referring
Yeah, that's
to.
exactly right. But
Because it's too powerful. But unless there's a giant marshmallow man, then you have to cross
then you
streams.
have to cross streams.
It's the only way to defeat them. You need the power of the streams.
I'm just saying that could be an urban legend.
It's a lot of power.
Pretty unsafe. They just go and do it anyway.
You have left me speechless.
What? Never cross streams. What
Beams
about?
I thought you were talking about jet fuel. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I like to throw them off once in a while.
Yeah, you really, you really stunned me on that one.
I thought I really got
flashed.
Two guys.
I'm flashed.
Two guys in the bathroom. Never cross streams.
You never cross streams. I thought that's where you were going. I'm like,
No.
it's an urban legend.
No,
I do it all the time.
It could have been, right, if that was real, I guess, but it's not.
Allegedly.
You don't.
I forgot
cross
everything I was going
streams.
to say
Yeah.
at the end of the show too. I forgot
Good.
all of our links.
It's all gone.
Good.
It's all
We
gone. I'm
lost
gonna
it
have
all.
to Google it.
This is why you can't remember every legend.
But yeah, I threw this topic up in Discord. Good friend of the show, Ghoulie Julie, said her local PA state urban legend is the Seven Gates of Hell, and also Bloody Mary as the most iconic fave.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. We have any other favorites that we haven't listed?
I don't
Anything
really
else
have
come
a
to mind?
favorite. I find them all really
All pretty-
interesting.
yeah.
For the most part.
Yep.
Some of them you can debunk. Some of them you
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
The spectral hitchhiker is a super cool one if you're into that. But it also is another lesson about murderers and bad people because one, you're not supposed to pick up hitchhikers. Well, but that's a generational thing too, because when in older generations, like my dad hitchhiked from like Connecticut to get home one time, and that's just what he did. So yeah, they're all interesting. I find them all fascinating.
Very fascinating. Yeah, there was one that was I don't know what the lore is behind it, but it was actually up by your parents' place. The kind of famous
I do that all the time.
curve.
Yeah.
The tunnel there.
Yeah, there's
That I know, like when I was late teens, early 20s, I heard about if you go in the tunnel, turn your car off, it's supposed to be the pitter patter of like children's feet or something.
Yeah, there's a lot to that tale. Because it's changed like through who tells it, right?
Yeah.
Just like white lady, it's supposed to be like the miners. Most of them were of German descent. Not that makes any difference, but a lot of them died working on making that particular piece of railway the way it is,
Right.
and also the tunnel through. All the settling ponds, everything that went into making that. I mean, there was a lot of, people that died. It's not the Hoover Dam where, the first guy that died there and the last guy that died there was father and son.
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
So it has that, living by that legend for my entire life and going through that particular tunnel. I always say 1,000 times. Who knows how many times I've been through that tunnel?
Well, quite a few.
I've never at least heard anything,
Right.
Not that I've like done the ritual where you stop and you honk and you're gonna fart 3 times. Whatever the ritual thing that you have to do for particular things, because there's tons of those, like honk 3 times or. But I've never seen anything through there, but
Probably have to cross streams or something.
cross streams,
Maybe beams.
maybe
beams.
I don't know.
Like high beams.
But that's, I mean, I lived by one for a couple years when I lived in a different part of our county, and there was some children that had died, which was a completely true story, and it's not so much of an urban legend, but it's a legend of the little area, and there's a little monument and everything like that, and it's creepy, but it's a true story,
Right.
So different legends, different things, where an urban legend will define some kind of, I guess, interaction with you, right? Like I said, all the killers in the back seats and your kidneys and everything, that has like an interaction with you that has a direct effect on you and what happens, where local legends and legends of the state have, they're documented stories of where they've begun and everything. So, yeah. I could probably go on I could just pull up a bunch more and be like, well, we're talking about this one, but
Next time.
next time.
Next
Do that.
time.
Yeah.
Part
Yeah.
2.
Part
2.
two.
Part 2.
That's right.
Part you.
Well, as we wrap this up here, what's in the works here for Project Skeptic coming up here in 2024?
Yeah, 2024, we're going to try to put out less episodes. I'm really working on doing less.
less is more.
Less is more.
Less
like
is
once
more.
a quarter. No, we're gonna.
Might be not enough.
No, it might not be. We're gonna try to keep on with our normal schedule. My schedule's super packed now. New job, starting college. So I have some different things that are going on. I'd like to get back into doing the Zen time of me recording my midweek episodes. So I might just start doing that, forcing myself to do it just so I can have that, because it always feels good when I sit up there, do some research, talk about a legend or whatever. And so yeah, we're going forward for the year. We're going to try to put out some more content, have some guests on, do some stuff. So pretty much status quo for the show this year. Yeah. My co-host, he'll be there.
Yep.
Occasionally.
Yep. I'll be there.
I was thinking about it either last night or today, and I was thinking about your kind of midweeks that you do from time to time, and I really want Bumbeeno to do a midweek by himself.
Oh yeah.
No one will listen to it.
Oh, everyone will listen to it.
No, they won't.
Yeah, they will. You're
Why?
a co-host.
Your co-host.
It would be like
cooperative hosting.
Quick thoughts with the Bumbeeno.
Quick thoughts.
Quick thoughts.
How do you cross streams?
How do you cross streams?
Is it beams? Streams.
Yes. Let me ask Chad GPT.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think
not.
that'd be a fun time.
Yeah.
Get a little solo show from Bumbeeno every now and again.
I would like to do a show where I didn't have to do the show. Like I wasn't on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had one show of all the shows where it was my idea.
Yeah. Well, you can give me
No,
ideas.
I know.
You
I know.
are the co-host.
I know. But that show, I was like, I thought it was really good. And then we did a show kind of ad hoc. We had no subject.
All over
but
the
I was
phone?
like,
Yeah.
all right, we're going to talk about this.
We zoomed it.
So it was like
yeah.
the two, it was like the two times.
The
that
two-time.
A two-time.
Yeah.
Where I came in.
Yeah.
I did
Came
my
in
thing.
clutch.
I just came in.
Just like that.
Just like that. But I thought they were good.
Yeah.
They were good
Always
episodes.
turns
But maybe
out
you're
fun.
right. Maybe I should.
Oh no,
Maybe
it's
you
always
should,
yeah,
like,
it's always
take the
it's
lead.
always a good episode. Like it's always enjoyable to listen.
Yeah, is it? Oh, good.
I just think it'd be, since you're the co-host,
Yeah.
who doesn't really know you're the co-host.
Yeah.
It would be a fun little thing to do every once in a while, where it's just Bumbeeno.
Like I'd like somebody to just take the lead on a show one time.
Yeah.
Like I did all this research and then I just have to kind of like what we're doing here now, where
Right.
I can just like comment on my crazy ideas.
There you go.
I think it'd be working.
Wait, so now I have to get a studio?
No, you just have to head research for a week.
Oh.
And then you have to be like, welcome in. This is another episode of Project Skeptic.
That's it.
Yep, that's it.
I'm going to write the research in wingdings.
I have to translate
I'm
it.
gonna it's going to have like weird ass symbols on there. Be like, Jay, can you read this?
Yeah, I can do it.
Ass.
That's nice.
That's nice.
I look forward to hearing and seeing that.
But
in
yeah,
2024.
that's it.
Is there somebody out there that can read wingdings?
Maybe.
Probably.
There, random thought. It's like
See, quick
lowered
thought.
expectations. Bumbeeno's. Yeah, we're doing that.
quick
We're doing
thoughts
that
with the
quick
Bumbeeno.
thoughts with the Bumbeeno.
Who can read wingdings?
Who could read that font? I want to just put it in chat. Find somebody
chat.
that can find them.
I mean, someone created them, so someone's got to be able to read them.
Yeah, they made an A, a smiley face, and yeah, all kinds of stuff. So
I'm gonna have to like bone up on my wingdings.
Yep.
Forget
Bone
wings.
up on your
I'm gonna have
wingdings.
to bone
sound
up on
great.
my bone in,
Bone
out.
Bone apple teeth.
But if you want to find more of me and the Bumbeeno and a good bit of Ian,
Yeah.
you know, he's filtering in. He's not quite co-host yet, but
Yeah,
he's
he's got his
still
own show.
huh?
He got his own show.
I know, but
Can you have two shows?
huh?
Can you have
You
two
can
shows?
have 10 shows.
Can you?
Yeah, you can have them all.
Man, that sounds like a lot of.
Well, if we put it
research.
in like movie or show form, like TV show,
Yeah.
like you're the leads. Well, he's the lead. You're
Uh-huh.
the second lead.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kind of like the I don't know, the reoccurring guest,
Yeah.
if you will.
Pop
Yeah,
in.
it's like I'm the cop that's like on the edge and like nobody takes my sandwiches, and you're just kind of like the laid back one that's always there and be like, you need to calm down about the sandwiches. They're not really that good.
now he's
And then
got
I'm the guy
quick
that
thought.
brings in the sandwiches.
Yeah, and then
right,
Ian's
right.
like, Ian just walks in every once in a while. He's like, man, I brought you a sandwich. Like, I don't want any fucking sandwiches. Yeah. That's how this dynamic
you
works.
You know what you sound like? You sound like you need a sandwich.
Love it.
But if you want to find more of me and the Bumbeeno Project Skeptic podcast, sorry, you can find it anywhere, Spotify, places you listen to stuff, except YouTube. It's not on YouTube.
No
so
YouTube,
don't go there. Yeah, so you can get a hold of us. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have all that stuff. So if you want to check us out, that's where you find us. And yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's what I got.
And all the links will be in the show notes as always. So yeah, if this is your first time checking us out, thank you. But yeah, if it's your first time checking out this podcast and you haven't heard of Project Skeptic Podcast, then the links will be in the show notes. Check them out. Always a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting topics. Lots of humor. Good mixture of
It's fun.
Of all of it.
It's just
Fun.
Chill, fun.
Yeah.
Hours and hours of it.
Yeah. There's
Literally.
185 episodes. Yeah.
Sometimes you just talk too much, Jay.
Well, that's what it is. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
But yeah, that's going to do it for our first episode of 2024. Thank you to Jay and the Bumbeeno for joining me as our first guest of 2024.
Happy New
Awesome.
Year.
Love it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Hooray.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Damn it. I've been Jay.
I've been the Bumbeeno.
But yeah, again, links will be in the show notes. Check us out. Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, YouTube, all of it. So for this week, I've been Ian Van Gool.
I've been Jay.
The Bumbeeno.
Have a ghoulish week, and you stay safe out there.
Don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you.
There you go. That's it.